guys, Nathan here with LoCali Management Group. In the car driving as usual. I'm always cruising around, checking out new spots, and love exploring. So I thought I'd just start off our series with this here. So let's go back a bit and kind of talk about where I started. So grew up in Southern California native. Lived a little bit everywhere in my childhood. Kind of settled down in Anaheim Hills, spent summers in Newport Beach with Dad, and get good upbringing, good times, nothing to be ashamed about. We all had our fun times at a young age. Always wanted to be a chef, to be quite honest, and I ended up going to culinary school and working for some large catering companies and a few different restaurants, and just did not like the industry. So I got out of that, dropped out of culinary school. I could cook an egg 100 different ways though. It's about the extent as I got out of culinary school. But I ended up selling office supplies with a neighbor, buddy of ours, and he was a startup company out of Tustin, and my sales route was Irvine. So I started knocking on doors in that area, and I came across this large privately owned company. I won't mention any names, but it was in Irvine, and they ended up not buying any office supplies from me, but had a good relationship with the manager, and she ended up offering me a job. So that's how I got in the industry. At the time, I didn't have my real estate license or any experience at all, other than sales, and I was floored that they spent so much money in marketing and all this stuff, and it was crazy to me that people were actually calling, and how could they were not closing up these deals. I was used to knocking on doors, right? So it was amazing having these people call me to build upon. Great company, great benefits, great pay. Lived this very luxurious lifestyle for a fraction of the rent because they offered discounts. So it was a no-brainer for me to stay within this industry. Love the industry. Love helping people find a new home. Kind of worked my way up the ladder a little bit. Did some moving and shaking. Grass was greener. I was kind of tired of them, telling me 3 inches from my shoulder I need to wear my name tag, and size pinstripes, and what neckties to wear, what colors, and things like that. And always shave. And if you know me now, I'm usually in my flip-flops, a hat, and a t-shirt, and it's kind of my uniform these days, which is great. So I evolved from the corporate world, and I started working for some medium-sized management companies, and it was a fee-managed companies, which is very different from owner managed, because now you have multiple bosses. In the fee management world, these are investment properties, so people buy and sell, and usually they kind of bring on their own managers. A lot of times they'll keep staff, but they do these quarterly these mystery shops, and I thought that was kind of cool. So I started doing mystery shops on the side, and ended up developing into my consulting company, which I called Poth Company. That's my last name. And I had a regional that I worked for, and she was kind enough to kind of give me a shot at it. And I would fill in when people were sick, and whenever they took over new properties, I'd go in and do the mystery shops and put my little report together and everything like that. It was a good gig. I loved it, but I'd be working so much that I couldn't. I had to line up myself with a new job, so I'd be out of work for like a month or so, and that's not what I'm used to. I'm used to a steady paycheck. But I loved real estate. Didn't necessarily want to chase that paycheck, so I didn't really necessarily want to get into sales, and I ended up trying to start my own management company. So I started LoCali Management Group in 2014 of April, and I started with 3 units. It was 3 units down to San Diego, and I survived off about $150 for almost a year. I mean, I was dying. I was down to my last savings, and it was a tough go. I mean, it's not easy to start any company really, let alone property management. There's so much competition out there. There's a lot of great real estate professionals out there, so it's very relationship based. But I was always stuck in working for a a company, and I never really branded myself. So I wanted to help brand myself. So I hired on a life coach. I'll plug him, Chris Mott. He's a great guy. I consider him a close friend of mine. Been my mentor through the beginning process of things, and I still touch base with him to this day. Just getting back to the basics and simplifying. So he helped me kind of strategize for that. And again, these are all simple things that you can probably do yourself, but having a coach there, being your cheerleader in the background and holding you accountable, that's something that I think a lot of entrepreneurs are missing, including myself. It was a challenge to you don't have to wake up in the morning. You could sleep in all day, do whatever it is that you want, because you don't really have anybody to report to, right? Especially when you're starting out. So keeping that motivation there is key. I got more involved in the industry, but with social media, it's a free advertising source. Again, I'm surviving up that $150 a month, so I didn't have the cash flow to go and do all this marketing and everything like that. So I did the free stuff, and that was social media, Facebook. I grew my business off of Facebook. I created this group, SoCal Property Management, which kind of led into Orange County Apartments for Rent, recognizing me as, hey, this guy's got a lot of rentals. Well, they weren't my rentals, but I did give credit to each one of those listing agents on there, and but it was that perception that I was something bigger than I really was, and that's kind of what I needed. I needed to grow my brand. Real estate agents and property managers are two very different types of real estate. I always use this analogy. If you have a toothache, you're not going to go to a brain surgeon, or vice versa. You're going to go to a dentist, right? They're all doctors, sure, but everybody has their own specialty. And my specialty, I'd like to say, is property management. I've got great clients. I love my clients. I have so many clients that have really supported me over these years, and I'm super appreciative of that. And now I'm just off of referrals. So my phone's ringing, and it's all referrals, and that's where I want to be. Just kind of wanted to film what's going on with me and LoCali. You'll meet the kids here in the next few videos, probably, if I can get them on camera. They're a lot easier when they're little. Now they're all busy. So, but anyways, thanks for living LoCali, you guys. Appreciate all your support, and looking forward to more adventures. See ya.